Alright, good evening, morning, or afternoon, everyone. Today is August the 29th. It's around 10 o'clock at night, Pacific Standard Time, and I want to leave off. It was brought to my attention yesterday that the video that I posted actually got cut short, and I realized that it was only a 9-minute video. I actually made around an 18 to 20-minute video, and I was discussing a couple of markets. So I want to leave off where I actually I don't think I discussed the euro and a couple of the dollar pairs. So I want to get started on a few of the dollar pairs today. Yesterday, if you did not see it, on the weekly Aussie, I have this particular. What basically I was down 50 ticks. I'm on very small because I was expecting this particular move to actually come more towards the 0.618 level around 106, which it still could, because if this is 1, this can be W here. So I just want to quickly kind of give you a where it could be. This can be A, B, C for X. And now if that's the case, then what you can get is W down to W up to X, and then 100% of where wave W equals Y is 104, which is just below, it's about 200 ticks below the 0.618, but it's above 78.6. So if price is not done, and if this is the X, well then this move down. Let me clear this off. This way you can see what I'm looking at. If this is the X here, well then this is A of Y. And price up will be B of Y, which is most likely come to around 111, 112 or so. So basically you'll see price come here. Let me just do an arrow to give you a little bit better of a game. It'll come here. It'll find some resistance. And then what it'll do is find its resistance. And then it'll come back down into this area where you'll have wave 2. Basically is where you can expect prices to go, which basically is calling for a weaker dollar. And right now we have I guess today, for whatever reason, we did have a strong dollar. That's going to be a temporary strength in the dollar over the next, let's say, couple of days or a week, but it's not going to be long term at all. This is just one market with a dollar pair on it that's showing temporary strength. So give or take, I actually got in this market at 10. I can't really tell what I got in at. 109.30. So right here is where I got in at. Price went against me 50 ticks, and I have my stop where I currently have my stop at is at 107.81. And price went to 108.32, give or take, and it bounced up. Now I was down 50 ticks last night. I'm currently up 50 ticks. The reason why I kept this at this small profits because I wasn't sure if this was going to be the A of C of Y basically. So taking wave B up is a counter trend trade at the end of the day. So however, this was wave 1, so it's not necessarily a counter trend trade. When if this was 2, well then I'm taking up 1 of 3 basically, which will go around to the X. So if this is the case and I count 5 waves up, then it's a totally different story, because then I can actually add on once it retraces 3 waves down. But if I can't count 5 waves up on a smaller time frame and I only count 3 waves up, well then I know that that's wave B. Then I would raise my stop, get popped out, eventually take the profits, and then look for a trade to the downside in possible wave, let's say 3 of C or 5 of C, once it comes down to end wave 2. So this is just some of the setups that I do when I'm taking trades, for swing trades basically. Eventually on a long-term trade in this particular market, I would like to see price come down to about 106 in this particular area. That's when I would actually load up on the contracts to take this, because if it's going to go, if this is in fact wave 1 and this will be wave 2, well then wave 3 has to go above wave 1 at bare minimum, and it tends to travel at least 1.618 of wave 1. So you're looking at a very extensive move. I'm not trying to catch the very bottom, so sometimes I would let the bottom just play itself out, and then I'll wait for 5 waves up for wave 1 of 3. I'll wait for the retracement on 3 waves down, and then I will take wave 3 of 3 basically, and then go from there, and then I'll just raise my stops as prices continue to accelerate. So that's just one particular market on that has a dollar pair in it that I'm looking at. And the euro, I talked about the euro yesterday, and it did what I expected it to do. So looking at the weekly, I've had this 1.382 here for about 3 to 4 weeks now, and once price was in this particular area, is when last week I went short, and I got stopped out because I thought my expectations were that wave Y would end at 23.6, but then I had my next level at 38.2. Now the next level from there is 1.618. So if in fact this is the top of wave 3, then you're gonna see prices move to around about a high 115, low 1.16. That is possibly going to be the end of wave 4. However, this is already, if this is wave 3 over here, I have my W here, I have a B, and a C for X. Well, the length of W down to the bottom of X, I've already reached it at 1.382. So it's already 138% times the length basically of the W. So it's well enough in range to be the end of wave Y, basically of 4, and then you should start to see a move to the downside. So we'll see how that's going to play out. But either way, I'll monitor this, and I'm in half a contract on this one because I wasn't sure. And once I have a higher probability, then I'll add on. So short term, the dollar is going to get strong in this. It already did today actually, and it should get a little stronger over the next couple of days. But it's going to be quite some time before, because if this is wave 3, then you're going to have, wave 4 is going to end here. That's going to take some time. Then you're going to have the dollar get weak again, and it's possibly to go to the 0.618. So let's just say 0.618 will be here at 122. Now once that ends wave 4, now you're going to see strength in the dollar that if this is in fact wave 4, it's going to go below the 3. So you'll see price move from 122 back below 1.04. That should be somewhere towards the end of the year or the start of next year, 2018. So as far as time frames, we'll see, but that's what we're looking at for a long-term trade. So if to get in somewhere at 120, 119, 118, and kind of just let it ride down to 104, that's a magnificent trade. So let me move on to the pound. This is a 240 in the pound. We discussed this several days last week, where I took this particular move down for over 100 pips for wave 1. I did suggest to the audience, very small audience, but I did suggest that if you are a counter trend trader, you can go long with a stop below here. If you did, you pretty much this was a 200 tick move. What I'm going to expect now is wave B of 2 to come here and find some support above the 0.618, which is it will be above 128. It's going to be somewhere between the 50% at 128.70 or give or take, and at the lowest 128.43 give or take. I speculate it's going to find some serious support in this particular area, the high 128 level, to complete wave B, and then you'll see wave C go to the 130, the mid 130, 130.20 area, if not more towards the high 130. I do not expect it to go higher than 131 for sure. So this is where, once it gets in this area, I would actually be taking my shorts with a stop closer to 130, 151, just to have a, and then I'll bring my stop down as prices go. So because I want to make sure that I get in and don't miss the particular move to the downside. So this is something to keep an eye out on over the course of the next couple of days or weeks. I will take the trade most likely wave C. If I see some strong support in this area, then I'll probably go one contract or a half a contract for give or take about 100 or so pips or so, if this does what I expect it to do. And I'll keep an eye on this and keep posting videos on this particular panel. Moving on to the Aussie dollar. On a weekly, I have this as a 1-2, a 1-2, and then another 1-2, then a 1-2, 3, 4, 5 of 3, then a 4, and then a 5. This can be wave 3 with an alternate wave 1. If this is wave 3 like I currently have it on my primary, then this is A of 4. This is A, B, C, D, E, B of 4. And then you'll see wave C that could have currently, I think this is the 3 of C at 80. And then this is either A, B, and another C for 4, or this is 4 here, and then you're going to see wave 5 of C come here. Now, where I have this W at of 2, that's based on the alternate 1. So if this move all the way down is a super cycle degree 1, which is on a larger time frame 1, well then this will be A, a B, a C, a W. Then I'm looking for an X to come back down here, and then like a Y of 2 to come like literally right up here to 97. That's highly unlikely right now, but you never know. So that is my alternate in this particular case. For the short term, I did go long. I'm a really small contract, but I did go long, and if it works out, I expect it to go above the top of 80.69. If it doesn't, no big deal. I'll take a small loss and I'll regroup and I'll get back in it. So, but I'm expecting the dollar, the Aussie dollar, to actually, the Aussie should get a little bit more stronger versus the dollar, unless this is the 3, this is a A, this is a B here, and now we're going to see C to the downside, which will then make the dollar stronger. Once I see something a little bit clearer, I'll keep an eye out on that. But we can look at the 240, and you can kind of see where this is the 3. You can kind of see this is a, if this was the A, this is a B, well then this will be an ending diagonal C of 4, or this will be an A, a B, a C for a W of 4. Then you have an A, a B, or a B here, and then you can see a C here for X of 4, or this was an A and this is a B. There's several ways to count corrections, so until it plays itself out, what I do believe is that most likely price will continue a little higher, but it may have one more downside in play. So that this is hence the reason why I didn't go big. Moving on again to, do I have another one? Oh, I do want to discuss one other trade. Let's see. I think it was a euro. No, it wasn't that one. Let me look and see what it was. That's the pound. That's the euro. We talked about that. The euro, it was actually this. This is a 240 euro yen. So far, it has reached my 1.382% at 131.90. It is possible that it can get a little closer to that, but if this is wave 5, basically somewhere in here, it should find some resistance, and it can be a decent trade to the downside. If you look at the euro yen on a daily, I would basically have, so this is the X, this is the W, this is the X, this is the A, the B, the 1, the 2, the 3, A, B, C, 4, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then possible 5 that should come in this particular area. And then that will be wave 5 of C of 2, and then I would basically, I don't think I'm going to short it here. I think I'm going to wait a little longer and see if it goes to about a high 131, closer to 132, and then I will short it with a tight stop. And then if I see 5 waves, that's when I'll add on as it corrects that particular first wave down. So this is another market to take a look at and just keep an eye out on, because there's several ways to get in. You can wait and just let the top just in, and then once 5 waves down for 1, you can just wait for wave 2 to retrace it and then jump in on the retracement wave 2 for wave 3 to the downside. So that's how I like to get in on these particular markets like that. That way your risk is low and your reward is very high, because you'll be trading wave 3. One more market I think I'll show for today. It was the Aussie CAD. And this market I'm showing because I showed this yesterday, but the video got cut off, and I actually miscounted this. I've always had the W here, I've always had the A here, I've always had the B here, but originally I had this as a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and then a truncated 5. Then yesterday I was looking at it and I noticed that, well, if this was a 4, it's in, and this is a 1, this is a very deep into the territory. Even though wave 4s can enter the territory in ending or leading diagonal, this is pretty deep. So and not to mention, you normally don't see 5 waves for an X. You see 3 waves for an X. But I had that labels for a while, and I was just staring at the pattern, and I noticed that's completely wrong. And that was the reason why the title yesterday was called, don't get married to one particular label. So in this particular case, I originally had my entry currently where my stop is at. I had it around this level. For whatever reason, this was about a week ago, I didn't get popped in, and I missed the opportunity for about 150 ticks. Yesterday, I decided to take a risk and jump in to the downside, because the way I see it was, once I relabeled this is wave C of X, this is A of Y, this is B of, this is B of Y. No, this is B of Y. Then this is A, this is B, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4 here, and now this is wave 1 of 5, possibly 2 of 5, then 3, 4 comes here, and let's say 5 will probably come, let's see. At the end of the day, the way I labeled it, I'm gonna have to change it again, because now that I look at it, this can't be it. The B needs to be here. Let me move this out of the way. The B needs to be here. If this is the X, the Y has to come at least to 87. So this will be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 of C of Y basically. So, or it'll be A basically of C of Y. That kinda can confuse people because in triangles or in double zigzags, if you don't understand what that means, I don't want to confuse you, but basically, as you can see here, here's my W. Now I have A, B, C for A, B, C for, so this is the A. Now I have A, B, C for B, and then A, B, C. This C should be a bigger C for X. So this is a W, this is X, and now this may be A, B, C, A, like that, and then B will come closer to the B again, and then C of Y. So looking at it like that, you should see, boom, let's see, take the arrow, B, and I'll probably see prices will go to about right here for a larger A. And then price will come back up for a larger B. And then price will come back down and go to at minimum 100% of W, if not 1.236 for C. Really, you might see the price of A come more towards here, somewhere around that area, around the 50% area. And then the B could either come around, it could retrace at 50%. It can either be an expanded flat B and go above the high. And C can actually go below. But that's if this particular count is correct. There's a few other ways to count this, so I wouldn't bet much on this market right now until a clearer pattern presents itself. And if I am correct on this and I actually make some money on this one, then price should, this particular bullish candle should over the next couple days should actually turn bearish. And that's what I'm waiting for, which I'll look at a daily and a 240 to get a little bit more confirmation. I'm going to end it there. Those are some of the markets to look out for over the next couple days, but I believe we'll see a temporary strength in the dollar. I did show majority of the dollar pairs. I am looking at the Aussie, the CAD, but I don't think I have it labeled anymore. I did, and I may have lost it. No, I don't. I do have it. So this is a 5 waves up. This is A. This is W, X, Y, B, and I'm expecting wave C to come to close to around here. But I believe this is either wave 3. I think this is A B with a dollar strength. You should see prices go above here, above 127. It currently is at 125.12. So I'm looking for dollar strength to come above this one and possibly short that down to the next support level. So which is a good 100 plus ticks. So I'll do a daily maybe on this one tomorrow and have something to see on this particular market, because this is possible something to look at, but not at this moment. I would like to see prices go up and actually either find some critical resistance here or go above it and get to about right here or so. Then it'll be a good to go short. So I mean, if you wanted to go long on it, you can. It's totally up to you, but I would definitely have my stop at about 124.50, give or take. So it's totally up to you. I'll leave it there, and I'll be back tomorrow with hopefully some more good opportunities. Happy trading.